Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Amit, Bratch, Senior Health Planner from Dudley Council. My role is here to tell you a little bit about the role of planning in regenerating town centres. I have seen the outcomes you have come up with, and I've tried to tailor my talk around that. So what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the National Planning Policy Framework. Why do we need planning, or what planning should do? And then give you a little bit more information about our forthcoming Black Country Plan, where you will have the opportunity to have an input into. And then go and talk about a little bit about our local plans we have got, which contain the guidance and information. Okay, so fine, is that okay? Right. As you can see, the National Planning Policy Framework, it's the government guidance. It was revised in February 2019, and it provides information to local authorities as to what information we do need to include in our forthcoming plans, policies, or strategies in terms of housing, transport, centres, environment, regeneration, because planning is encompassing everything. And the NPPF, which I'll refer to it because it's a National Planning Policy Framework, it's got three objectives. First one being the economic objective, as the name says. It helps to build a strong, responsive, and competitive economy by ensuring that we have got sufficient land of right types available in right places and at right time. Something, which you have said about the high streets, what can we do to improve those? So those kinds of things it's talking about. And it also aims to provide jobs, training, and it encourages tourism along with regenerating your town centre. Very much in line with the outcomes you came up about, having a variety of shops, a variety of retailers, and provision of public squares. The second one is the social objective, and the aim of that is to provide strong, vibrant, and healthy communities, and to ensure that we have got a number of homes which can be provided to meet the needs of the present and the future generations, along with accessible services, open spaces, social and cultural well-being. And this objective provides guidance on how to sense a place through careful design. How can we design places, where they provide purpose and identity? And the third one, as you can see, the environmental objective, very much about how we can improve and enhance our natural environment, historic environment, making effective use of land, and using our natural resources prudently, minimizing waste and pollution, mitigating climate change, and moving towards a low carbon economy. So you can see planning is not one thing, it's a vast range of things. And as I say, the NPPF does not contain any local policies. It only tells us what we as councils should include in our plans. In addition to this, there are dedicated chapters in the NPPF, as I've said, on housing, transport, infrastructure. Particular interest to yourselves will be the chapter 6, which talks about building a strong competitive economy, which requires local authorities to provide guidance and create conditions in which businesses can invest and expand, very much along the lines, what can we do to improve the retail offer in the high streets, and what we can do for the local businesses so they're able to come and invest in the Black Country. And then chapter 7, ensuring the vitality of the town centres. It talks about, what guidance we need to provide for our local centres, so that they're able to grow, diversify, and able to change to the changing circumstances. And chapter 8, which talks about healthy and safe communities, it puts emphasis very much on the local authorities on how you can provide the communities which are safe, because we hear every day, and you have just seen recently the stabbings in London, what can we do to mitigate those kinds of incidents, and what can we do to support healthy lifestyles? And the Black Country Plan, as I said, this was previously known as the Black Country Core Strategy. It was adopted in 2011 by the 4 Black Country authorities, Sandwell, Walsall, Wolverhampton, and ourselves. And as I said, it was nationally seen as a good example. It has been successful in promoting regeneration, and it has been helpful in securing funding from the Black Country Local Enterprise Partnership and West Midlands Combined Authority. However, when we adopted this strategy in 2011, there was a commitment from our part that we will review this strategy after 5 years, because as you know, things change, people's perceptions change, demographics change. So And we have got about 500,000 from the government, which was given to us to deliver the plan. And we are now working on the draft plan, which will be looking at including the policies, the site allocations, and it will be a very detailed plan. It will not be a strategic plan anymore, because it's the first time the Black Country Plan will have sites allocated for housing. And alongside all those policies, we are looking at the review of a green belt, because what we have realized that the number of homes we need to provide by the end of the time period, which is 2038, we have not got enough urban land. When I say urban land, I mean which is previously developed. So we will have to look at where we could provide all these homes and where we could provide all that employment which comes with it. Because what you don't want to do is give your land from employment to housing and you have less for the housing to be provided. We have to look at the demographics, because the government tells us we have to see what our demographics are and provide for the aging population. And as I say, the slide at the bottom, the Black Country Plan is out for consultation soon. And as you can see, those two web links. The first one will give you all the information, what has been done so far, what consultation have we done, what responses we received, and what are we going to do going forwards, and what are the timescales. And the second one, you can register yourself as an individual, and you could have your input as to how you want to see Black Country evolve in the coming years. So I would very strongly recommend yourselves to go on that and register yourself if you want to make a change, or if you want the planners or whoever to know what you want or how you want your Dudley or Black Country to look like. And as I say, it's a huge piece of document. It's all this evidence we have to provide to show, as you know, our plans, they will go to the planning inspectorate for examination. So this all, the evidence in terms of environment, employment, centres will be published sometime in New Year. So it's worth, looking at those web links I gave you. And in addition to this, we have got local plan policies which come right down to Dudley level. And for Dudley, we have got the Dudley Borough Development Strategy. It's a long, long name. We've got development twice. And as I said, that has got policies particularly for Dudley as a borough, that how we would like Dudley to develop, grow up to 2026. And again, it has got lots of policies and guidance relating to housing, environment, urban design. Particular interest, I think, for yourselves was infrastructure improvements, which looks at, access to support regeneration in specific sites, and to bring more people into the area to make it livelier, which was one of the outcomes I think yourselves had. And then Policy S19 talks about the Dudley Borough's green networks, again, looking at the existing network of parks and spaces, and where new developments should go. And then it has got a policy on open spaces. I wouldn't read all of them, but they're all available on that web link above. In addition to that, we have got area action plans, which are for a very small part of your town. And we have got at the moment 4. Stourbridge has got one, Brawley Hill, Halesowen and Dudley. Dudley's area action plan was actually adopted in 2017, and there was a huge amount of consultation which went into it. Brawley Hill area action plan, as you can see, is currently being reviewed. And what you have is, you can go on the website and you can have a look at the timescales, and you will be able to input into, because it's for a small area, so you could see what you would like Brawley Hill to look like. And the timescales, everything will be available on the website. And that's it, I think. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Amit.
I hope I've done in time.